Good morning, and welcome to the last day at Strata. I hope you're all having a great time. Many of you know Intel as the silicon company, as the chip company. That's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about what we are doing in big data. Intel has a long history in being at the forefront of the key technology trends which have led to evolution of big data. Over the course of the last 10 years, we have worked in HPC environments where we have worked with large computational data sets and optimized those technologies to deliver the performance that is needed. To give you an example, the Hadron Collider produces about 15 petabyte of data a year. And in some of the more recent big data deployments, such as doing a closed-circuit TV network in a city, you could easily generate 30 petabytes of data. So the performance optimizations, the capabilities needed there is something we know well and have worked on for several years. The second major trend is cloud infrastructure. Intel, as you may well know, has been at the forefront of driving the adoption and evolution of the cloud infrastructure, working with the major cloud providers, and that's the other capability we bring to bear. Open source is not new to most people here. Open source has evolved from being a good enough substitute to proprietary software to be the leading driver of innovation in the industry. Intel has worked in open source for the last dozen or so years. We are, for those who may not know, one of the largest contributors to the Linux kernel. We've been working in Apache for a long time, and in the cloud environment, OpenStack has been one of the major initiatives from Intel. So it should come as no surprise to this audience that we are converging these three trends together and actually providing Intel distribution for Apache Hadoop software to the community. And to give you a bit of a background on what our rationale is and what is the value we are looking to deliver, as we have worked for the last 3 or 4 years in Hadoop, mostly starting from our use cases with our customers in China, what we saw is a lot of gaps in the infrastructure, even today, to become the common substrate in open source on which users can deploy their solutions. The key areas we found gaps in: performance, security, manageability. To give you a few examples that you can see down at the booth, we'll be talking about Project Rhino, which deals with security in the entire Hadoop environment, multiple projects, dealing with access control, encryption, and other capabilities, enhanced by silicon, enhanced by using some of the capabilities that we have developed in the Xeon processors. Secondly, we are driving the capability to drive more horizontal innovation in open source. So to give you an example, you would hear a lot today and yesterday on how fast SQL can be run over Hadoop or how fast text analytics can be run over Hadoop. And our objective is to make the Apache open source Hadoop project horizontal enough that it can support these multiple different use cases in open source. So we are working with the community to drive open source SQL capability on Hive. We are working with the community to drive graph analytics, to drive machine learning algorithms, in addition to driving MapReduce and other workloads that run well on Hadoop, and driving it from a pure batch mode type processing environment to a bit more of a think time processing environment. And finally, we want to work with our broad array of partners and ecosystem, and you may have seen in some of the announcements the range of partners that we are working with, so that they can use this horizontal substrate, which is open, is innovating, is at the leading edge, and build capabilities on top to deliver the full end-to-end insight that often comes by combining different solutions together in an effective way. And to talk, when we announced earlier this past Thursday, we announced with about 20 partners. I'll bring later on SAP on the stage to dig deeper into our collaboration and what we are doing. But to take a minute before that and talk about the projects that we are working on, there are a lot of demos down at the floor. I invite you to spend some time on Intel booth. We are talking about Project Rhino. We are doing demos around Project Panthera and Graph Builder that provides graph analytics on Hadoop. And to support the Apache developer community, we recently became the platinum sponsor of Apache Software Foundation. So we can all together strengthen this common horizontal layer, make it the substrate on which innovation can happen, not just now, but several years down the road as the data center evolves to a much more scalable infrastructure as we see it, where we are taking it. And before I close out, I would talk a little bit about our collaboration with SAP. To dig into that, I have invited here with me Joydeep Das, who is the Vice President of Product Management at SAP. Welcome, Joydeep. Thanks for joining me.
Good to be here.
Thank you. Before I hand it over to you, it'll be great if you can share with the audience, what made you choose Intel as your partner in building innovation around Apache Hadoop.
Yeah, we've been working with Intel for quite some time around various projects that bring enterprise-grade hardware and software solutions to our customers. So it's natural that we continue that partnership in the realm of big data. So it's really exciting to be with Intel and bring value to our customers.
Welcome, Joydeep. I'll hand this over to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.